Yeah. All right, what's our little name? Hold on. Fitness, fun, and what? Fitness, fun, and fucking, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, it was food, fitness, and fun.
I know, I was kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Food, fitness, and fun with Dre and JD. All right. I guess let's make it episode 1.
Right. Take 1.
You know what I mean? Episode 0. Nah. All right, cool. So, our first topic was Purge movies.
Yeah.
Purge movies. Purge. So, Purge got a new movie coming out. Movie number 5. 4? No. 5. Right? They had 1, 2, and 3. Then they had the first Purge. And now this one.
Yeah, this is 4 or 5?
This is 5, no? Because they had Purge.
5.
Purge
the
2 and 3.
The first Purge. The second.
Right, that was the 4th one. That in sequential order, I'm saying.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I got to think about the actual, what happened in the movie.
I can't remember what the second one is called.
So Purge 1 is like the first one with dude from Training Day. He was selling the
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, there you go, right.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke was selling the security system.
Exactly.
He thought he was hot shit.
Right. Second Purge is your dude from
Omar from The Wire.
The Marvel movies too. Whatever. But he was in both of them. Yeah, he the one that fought fucking Captain America and that one got his ass raped. He's an Italian guy.
Oh, the dude who plays Punisher now?
Does he play Punisher now?
I believe so.
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's a different guy. Oh no, it is a different guy. I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, this dude he's an Italian actor, action star.
Yes.
Yeah, so he was in 2 and 3.
Yeah, but number 2 is about the hood and how the rich are like fucking with the whole shit with the purge is for the rich to fuck with the poor.
Right.
Yeah, that was number 2. And Omar from The Wire was in it.
Number 4 is the prequel. It's when they go back to like how the shit started. When
right.
It was Staten
and this
Island.
is number 5.
And this is number 5. All right. So,
Purge 5 has been announced.
Do you have a favorite? I mean, we haven't seen 5 yet, but out of the 4, like, do you have a favorite?
I really like that 2 is layered. I feel like 1 was like, alright, cool. It was just sparking shit. And then number 2 is like, alright, now we're going to go deep on y'all. Which is why I felt like 2 was setting up number 3, because number 3 was like, yeah, we're trying to get rid of this shit. Let's get the politics involved. And, you know, they also used the whole Hillary Clinton running for office shit.
Yeah.
And I thought all of that was really dope. So I really like number 3 a lot because of the politics and the layers. So I would say either 2 or 3. I think probably 3 is my favorite. But 2 was really good too. I feel like 1, 2, and 3, they were getting better and better. And then number 4, that prequel, I had really high expectations for the prequel. And then I feel like they kind of hit, but not like slam dunk. You know what I mean? Like, I was expecting them to go much deeper, than they did.
That's funny. That's funny
because you feel the opposite, I know.
Yeah, like for me, 4 was the shit. Now, can I say it was like the best for me? I'm not sure, but in terms of how it was written and just it's, you know, I think the thing that we like about it, as you were saying, is like the layers, like how much of this onion do you want to peel? And to start the prequel off, first of all, in Staten Island, which I thought was like dope.
I know, it's so random.
From New York.
It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
From
New York City.
Staten Island, like.
Right. But it's Staten Island 1. It's in the fucking PJs. And it's like, if you grew up in New York City around PJs, you definitely understand what the fuck is going on. And to just be like, okay, yeah, we're going to make this shit work no matter what. But I also think the biggest thing for me that was so dope was that they had this bullshit hypothesis that's like, oh yeah, if we put these things into the community, these niggas will kill themselves. And brothers was just like, okay, well, we all gonna try to make this money tonight, and let's just party. Let's just, have a great time.
Y'all ain't going to the Purge party?
Right.
It's like, what the fuck is a Purge party?
That's what they don't understand is that about us, people of color, is like, yo, we take adversary shit, horrible shit, and just be like, well, ain't nothing we can really do about it, so let's try to celebrate. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, oh, y'all gave us clout, and now it's soul food.
Right. It's like, okay.
It's like, oh, this was the garbage. Y'all didn't want this garbage. Well, now it's soul food. What's up?
Yeah, it's like, it's like, all right, it's a hurricane. Niggas have hurricane parties. It's like, oh man, the lights went out in New York City. All right, I guess we just gonna party. You know what I mean?
Blackout party.
Like this shit that y'all think that, oh yeah, we just savages and we just at any opportunity we're gonna just like kill each other. It's like that's how y'all niggas think. We don't think like that. You know what I mean? But so I was really digging those layered messages, and there was way more layered messages in it. But I was kind of really digging that shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the thing, and I think the other thing that I really loved seeing was the thing that we see as this like crutch or this like sort of like social disability was actually the thing that saved the dude. So it's like those PJs that they just ran up into and was just like shooting everybody, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, we live here. We know how our projects and our buildings are. So when you turned the lights out, you made it really harder for you. You know what I'm saying? Because we know these streets. We know these PJs. We know these buildings. And I guess it was kind of nostalgic for me anyway, because I remember growing up in the PJs and being able to like slip and slide through shit. Or I remember where people would get chased by the cops. They would try to run into the buildings because once you ran into the buildings, there was no way for these cops to catch you. They had no idea what apartment you went in. Did you go over the roof and over to like 3 other buildings? Did you go underneath to the basement where the incinerator is at? It was just like, we knew this shit because we grew up there. So what y'all see as like this fucking concrete jungle and it's so, fucked up and you can never know your way. It's like, oh, this is home, son. This is like, it's sort of like the indigenous people, the reason why they couldn't be, put into slavery, they wasn't eradicated, but the reason why they couldn't be put into slavery because they tried, but when they would, when they enslaved the indigenous people, they would just escape. And when they escaped, they had no way of finding them because they'll just be like, all right, we're going to escape and we're going to go in the mountains. And they just like, all right. Well,
we don't know where the fuck that people
but they can't survive in those mountains. There's no water up there. There's no this, there's no that. Listen, we know this territory. This is strange territory for y'all, not for us. You know what I'm saying? We know this. We are the tribes of these people. That's why they had to go get people from Africa who didn't know the land. You know what I'm saying? So for us, it's like, we being in these PJs, we know this, man. Come on, you can't. I ain't gonna never. If I get the opportunity to run into these buildings, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. So I really kind of like that late message there and other things. But
it was cool. I just was like, for me, the problem with that movie was like it was so easy to peep game the whole movie, and I feel like in the other Purge movies, it wasn't so upfront. Like maybe in the third one, because in the third one we knew they were trying to kill the politician lady. But in the other films, it was a lot more subliminal. the foreshadowing wasn't so obvious. And this film, it was easy to tell, like, alright, so from jump, I could see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that. I was like, nah, they're not gonna make it that obvious. They're gonna do some fly shit. And I kept waiting, and the fly shit never really came, in my opinion. Like, I was like, okay, well, huh?
So yeah, I got you.
Yeah, like, I was like, okay, what's the fly shit they gonna do that I'm not gonna see coming? And it was like, oh, okay, this is what I saw coming already. So, alright, I guess this is cool.
Yeah, I dig it. You know, and I understand, like, you looking to shock me, surprise me, like,
listen, do some wild shit I'm not expecting. Yeah,
I'm not gonna see,
okay.
Right.
Yeah, because we already know, this is a prequel, so we already know the Purge happens.
No, what's gonna make, we already know that.
Yeah, so it's like, if I already know the ending, because this is a prequel, then you gotta do some other shit that's gonna keep me, you know.
Well, the story gotta be super compelling, right? You know?
Right.
And it's funny because it's like,
cool. Like, I feel like the story was more about the crackhead trying to kill the kids than it was about the Purge. Like, that was more of a focal point at one point.
Yeah.
For a lot of the movie, it was like, oh yeah, but you know the crackhead's coming for you. And it was like, oh, alright. Or whatever. He was a crackhead, no?
Yeah, he was a crackhead. Yep, he definitely was a crackhead.
Yeah, so it's like, alright, so the crackhead is gonna kill y'all. And it became so much about the crackhead that I'm like, nigga, I thought this was Purge, not Jason, like.
Yeah, it did kind of have that kind of like, he's a monster, scary shit to it.
Yeah, and I'm like, nigga, this is Purge. Oh, I don't know if we can say the N-word this much on a podcast.
So, you have to edit that out, man.
Or maybe just do some research. I don't know. I mean, I know on the Joe Budden joint, they say nigga all the time, and that's one of the most famous podcasts, period. But I guess we'll have to see.
But
anyway, I feel like it was so much about him at one point that I'm like, all right, but what about the Purge? Like, it was like, okay, here come the Purge party, then the crackhead is back. I'm like, oh, so this is Jason. Like, this is Halloween, not Purge. I know Jason and Halloween are two different movies, but whatever.
Right.
Same premise.
Yeah.
And then like at the end, it was like, well, this is supposed to be a scientific experiment. And it was like, yeah, bitch, we don't give a fuck about your science. Kill everybody.
See now, in terms of layers, I feel like you might be hitting something, because it's like, look, that crackhead was just on some like, I'm gonna do evil shit, fuck it, right? But we realized, you know, yeah, they paid him to do it or whatever, but he probably would have did that shit anyway, right? But we realized he was such a minority. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So think of it in terms of the body and him being some sort of virus. It's like the hood, the neighborhood is like the antibodies. It's like, okay, yeah, he got a couple of cats, but he wasn't the dominating thing. He got dealt with. Yeah. This is why they had to bring in the dudes from the military shit, because it's like, are there people in our community that just think of devilish evil shit? Yeah, there are, but they're the minority, and we can just deal with that. You know, to try to say these one or two people who you found is the epitome of the community, we know that's a lie if you live in that community. So I feel like they kind of dealt with it like that, where it's like, okay, yeah, here's this one dude who's being a fucking treacherous monster in the community. He got dealt with. Now, we would have still been good if your only bad guy was him. We realized that the true bad guys were the people perpetrating to act like they're from the community, who was being government sponsored to come in and pretend that it's widespread havoc. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was like, whoa, you know? So I feel like it gets a little bit deeper, if you think of it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I just felt like a lot of shit they did very surface level, and they didn't really deep dive like I wanted. Like, even with them introducing the new political party, you know, the new founding fathers or whatever they were called.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna show us all type of like agendas and all type of like, you know, one of the things that we love about Purge is that it speaks about how they rewrote the Constitution.
Right.
And that never even really came up. It was just like, all
This
right,
is
yeah, we're
true.
gonna try this new shit. It's called the Purge. I'm like, yeah, but what's the new like, to me, it's always been like, all right, what's with this Constitution though? Like, all right, y'all rewrote it. Y'all say that all the time. Cool. Well, what the fuck? Like, where is that?
Yeah, so
And I
you was
never
looking
got
for
that.
the prequel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
how the
they
fuck
introduced
did we
them. You
get
know,
here?
listen, that's
Yeah,
how they set the tone. When the movie
right.
starts, they give you the quick story. And I was like, okay, they're gonna expound. You know, they're gonna deep dive. They're gonna elaborate later. And then that never came. It was like, okay,
Yeah,
but nigga, like, y'all didn't even mention the Constitution in this one.
right.
Like,
It
he
was
could
just
have
that
even did
no.
it at the end. Like, even at the end
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
movie,
yeah,
they could have did some, like, end credit scene where it
yeah,
was like, all right, cool,
yeah,
now we're gonna roll this shit out nationwide. Let's set up
yeah,
this new constitution. And,
yeah.
cause my thing has always been like, ooh, a new constitution. All right, see, I like shit
Right,
like that. Now you're talking my language. But they've never
right,
told us, like, okay,
right.
what's with the new constitution? What did y'all take out? What did y'all put in?
Yeah,
What were their
and
amendments?
and it's been a minute. It's been a minute, so I don't even remember how like the new founding fathers even started. And so, you know, I just feel like they just like, this is what it is. But you're right. You have a point where it's like, okay, this new founding fathers, like this brand new party came up, got incredibly popular, so popular that they fucking became the majority and
Yeah.
rewrote the fucking Constitution. That's the story. You're absolutely right. Like,
Yeah,
whoa.
because it was on some V for Vendetta shit. Like, to
Yeah.
me, I was like, okay, this about to be some V for Vendetta shit. You know, they purposely plotted and make sure they went into power, yada, yada, yada. And like, I feel like the meat and potatoes never came. It was like, yeah, we're going to focus on this other surface level shit, purge parties and the fake, bad monster crackhead dude.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
yeah,
and
that ain't it. That's not what I was here for.
military,
Like, I didn't.
paramilitary motherfuckers in the fucking hood.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel you. But
I'm
now
like, that's not what I
the
paid
other
my
thing,
$17.99 for.
I got you. Now the first one, that's why I said possibly because I can't say it was my birthday because I really did like the first one, and I really like the first one. And it's always easy when it's the first one to make you feel like, oh, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect because you
Right.
just had no idea, right? So that first one was so good because I just felt like it was just on some like, look, mad things you believe in are myths. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was like the notion of a false sense of security. Like here's this dude selling these like obviously expensive security plans and measures and devices and blah blah blah.
High end purge security.
Yeah, and just like, yo, this is it. Like if you want to make sure you're gonna be safe, for these 12 hours or whatever the fuck it is, you need to buy our shit. And just to watch it be like, man, you bought into a false sense of security, which for me was like, that is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, because I think for me, it's like, that's the thing that I kind of talk about a lot, where it's like, yeah, the thing that you really believe in is an illusion. That is not keeping you safe. You think it is keeping you safe. You put a lot of money and time and whatever it is, but that's a fucking illusion, and it can be broken down quite easily. And when you saw him get, just getting fucking invaded, it was like, whoa, what the fuck,
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like they were getting incrementally better because it started with that, and then the second one was like, okay, look, this purge shit is cool, but really, this shit is just about the rich being able to fuck with and destroy the poor. And I was, ooh, y'all niggas is wild. How you gonna do that? And then and that's what I'm saying about the layers, like, and the subliminal foreshadowing and messages, because even in that second movie, for a lot of the second movie, everybody's like, nah, that's a conspiracy. You can't believe that. Nah, that's bullshit. You can't believe that. Until they auctioning cats off. Like, you got a fine specimen right here. What y'all want to put up on this? It's like, oh yeah, I'll pay this much and take them all. And then my man Omar came in with some, nah, everybody gotta go. Leave us alone. Like, I'm tired of y'all fucking with us.
Did you watch the Purge series on TV?
No.
Then I'm hanging up right now. I have nothing to say to you.
Said, this podcast
conversation
is over before it begins.
Over. It's done.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Nah.
I was nervous. Listen, so many TV shows, so many movies have been made TV shows and have been decimated that I'd be scared anytime they make a movie a TV show now.
I know. But
they made Limitless a TV show.
Yeah,
Minority Report, mad shit.
I didn't see the Minority Report one either. But because, I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's going to get back to that first one and how it's so layered and it's just like mad shit going on. Purge has like this special place in my heart because it's like,
right.
It's what, you know, here's the whole shit with movies. Just in case people are listening who don't understand, it's like, why the fuck are you talking about movies though? It's like, look. And, you know, on V for Vendetta, they kind of get into this, where it's like, in order to try to examine something, simply, you have to really exaggerate some shit. You know, so it's like, you make this movie, you exaggerate the fuck out of it to try to drive a point fucking home, right?
Right.
They're saying, hey, listen, resources are tight. You know, or that's the illusion anyway. And we can't just keep giving people this and giving people that. Eventually you're going to come to a point where, the only way to get control is to start getting rid of people and sort of by like any means necessary. And it's like, wow, right? So we look at something like right now with, COVID-19, blah, blah, we got all these conspiracies, but there is some truth to some of this where it's just like, whoa, like what can the government do, you know, in terms of like managing the population? And one thing we know is like, well, mass extermination in one way or another. And so obviously they wrote these movies with that in mind, but so many other things, but that being just one of the central fucking plots here. It's like, okay, we're going to exaggerate the fuck out of this and really show what could possibly be going on. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why like the Purge has this like special place in my heart because it's like, yo, this shit is crazy that you've been dealing with it. And when it comes out, I always feel like people watch it, but they don't really watch it. And that's also the reason why with that prequel, they had to turn it into this like G.I. Joe shit that you're talking about because they gotta make it entertaining in that action sort of sense, you know, where it's like, oh yeah, Star Wars is about the Jedi and it's like the Sith, and it's like, yeah, but it's like way deeper than that. And if you
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If you're just looking at, you know, the action and the Force and all that shit, it's like, you're missing a lot of this fucking movie. Absolutely. You know? Yeah. And that's what the Purge is about, you know? So that series is really good. You know, it dealt with some more crazy shit. And I think because it's a series, they had the time to get into more details of certain characters, you know? Sort of like number 2, what you like, where it's like the dude, the central character number 2, who is just like, I'm into this Purge shit for one motherfucker. I've been waiting all year. Right. One dude who fucked me over. Right. I can't just kill him in society, but I'm into it for this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck who you are, who they are. Don't get in my fucking way. I'm going to pop this month. And so you have kind of like some stories like that, that are in the series. So it makes it kind of interesting. Yeah, you might want to, if you get an opportunity. I believe it is on Hulu.
Well, you know, nowadays you could get things anywhere, so.
Yeah, well, you know, right. It's on Hulu.
There's ways around that now.
What is that?
I'm saying? Ways around that now. Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever. Yeah. They ain't cut us a check, so fuck them.
Right. So now they moving into this Purge 5. I think
the Forever
Purge. Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
That title alone got me hyped. I feel like they should do a second trailer with Annie up playing in the background.
You know what I'm saying?
Like attention please, and then the cat the
whole entire world.
Like just drop the beat while somebody's getting chased. Like that's it.
That trailer,
have somebody running top speed and have the beat for MOP drop. Right. I mean, have the beat for Annie up drop right there. Like we gotta run. Bing, bing,
you know what I mean? That trailer was crazy because it's exactly what I was just talking about. Where it's like this false security. It's like, oh well, if you make it past this time, now you're safe. And they're like, man, fuck that time and fuck those rules. Hello, listen, look, we ain't gotta follow fucking rules.
It was like in the trailer, they was like, no, but you'll understand, it's over. It's like, no, it's just beginning, bitch. I was like, oh, shit. Word. Said, fuck that.
Word.
And you know what's my favorite shit about Purge? My favorite shit about Purge is the disrespect. That shit drops on Independence Day every time. I feel like,
which is another message that the directors and the creators of the film, they're trying to make a huge point about this fucking country, you know?
Absolutely.
This shit is before, you know, Black Lives Matter and before
it predates a lot of things.
But it was going in, you know, from the first movie. And so this next one coming up looks so good with that trailer, and it's like, yo, like rules, fuck. Hello, we kill people. Like, why the fuck do we care about fucking rules? You know what I'm saying? The rule is there's no rules. And fuck that siren. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that siren. And fuck you, and you're gonna die. And that's it.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the original Purge came out in 2013. I just looked it up.
Right.
Yeah,
I remember that because I went to see that shit in the theaters right there in New York City.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know? So, man, so this one's like, yo, okay. All right.
Right.
Which makes a lot of sense, that whole fuck the rules, forever purge. It makes me think about us. When I say us, I mean, you know, black people, people of color, however motherfuckers want to use it by now, where it's like, when we step out our homes, we always feel like we have a target on our back that we're about to be purged. It can come from any place, from any hour. So it's like, maybe in the movie, y'all got that feeling for 12 hours. Man, anybody can ice me at any time. But when we step out, whether that siren is, you know, 12 hours is purge night, it's not purge, it's always purge night with us. So
always.
I'm always looking at, I'm looking at that trailer like they going somewhere with this. You know what I mean?
Right.
They going somewhere with this, like, you know, and I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like there's like, Latin cats in there, maybe like Mexican, I'm not sure. I seem like it was like a border thing going on.
Because at one point they say that the Mexican borders are being opened for a certain amount of time. Anybody who gets in there will be safe.
Right. And so you look at something like in real life, like ICE, right? Where it was just like going after cats, you know. What are they trying to do? They're trying to purge them from the country. Right. So it's like, well, there's no special time or whatever. It's like you can get caught out there. You just step out and you're going to get it. So
ICE was catching cats at job interviews. Like, I don't know if you know about that. Yeah, this one cat, he was like going to a job interview and it was like, oh yeah, you know what? Hold on, let me get the manager, just so they can speak to you real quick. And then ICE was the manager. You feel what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah. So, like I said, man, the directors, and I hope people get what they've been trying to say and now what they're going to try to say in this fifth one, all the like layered messages where it's like, yeah, there's certain people who are always being targeted, and then there are other certain people who are always looking to purge other motherfuckers.
Absolutely.
For whatever fucking reason. You know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
They on there kill all the brute shit.
Yeah. And I haven't seen that one yet. Everybody's on my note. Nah, I haven't seen it yet.
It's a good
documentary. Mad Cats is talking about it. So I'm like, all right, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it's good. I got put on to it a little late too. It was already like finished coming out, and I got put on. But that's why, we gotta get on our Will Smith I Am Legend shit, so we can outrun everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just hitting that treadmill every morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when that purge comes, you could grab your machete and go. You know what I'm saying? Or your sniper rifle and go. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you hear people say that shit a lot. I'm doing this and this, the zombie apocalypse. I'm doing this, that, and the third, the zombie apocalypse. It's like, do y'all really understand what they're trying to say to you in that whole zombie apocalypse shit? Like, there's already zombies walking the fucking around,
Right.
Like, once again, they're exaggerating something fully out to try to tell a message, a story that you get. It's not just, oh yeah, and they want to eat your brains, and like, go deep. Go deeper than that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See what the hell is going on. You could kind of see the message.
Right. Listen, V for Vendetta, they said artists use lies to tell the truth.
Come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Politicians.
And politicians use the truth to tell lies.
Yeah. My favorite joints ever.
Yep. Hell yeah. So let's transition into some fitness shit. Why do you do fitness?
Oh man.
Because are you prepping for the purge?
Nah. I mean, I think honestly that I have a mindset that's always thinking about what could be coming around the corner. Whether you're talking about me as a martial artist, and I kind of tell people that all the time, like, well, what got you started in this? What got me started in this is I grew up in New York City in the 80s. The cats were getting their asses whipped all the time, getting jumped constantly with book bags and jeans and sneakers. Shit was ridiculous. So I grew up in this like really traumatic time in New York City where I was so preoccupied with feeling safe. It was no place to turn, so you had to like learn how to fight more than one person at a time. That got me in it. So that always got me into like, think back to Wu-Tang, protect your neck, watch your back, all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So you always kind of think like that. But in terms of like me getting older, becoming a man, it's like, well, fitness became more of this like beautiful hobby that just makes me really feel good. It feels good to, get my heart rate up. I like the fact when I'm, feeling strong, looking stronger, aesthetics and shit like that. So for me, getting back, as Jesus used to always say when I used to work out with him, who trained us, it's a hobby, it's just a hobby. And, like any other hobby, if you're into it, you want to, do your best at it, enjoy it, not hurt yourself, and, move on about your day. So,
it's funny. We talk about fitness all the time, and I've never heard you refer to it as a hobby before.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
That's really interesting. I don't consider it a hobby.
And I have to tell people that because, so many people walk around and they're like, oh man, I gotta go to the gym. Oh, or they be like, I don't like going to the gym. And I'm always like, you don't have to go to the gym. Like, you don't have to go to the gym. You can, what you need to do is find something you like to do and do that thing more often. Whether it's like, you want to ride a bike? All right, ride your bike. You like roller skating? Well, roller skate more. You just like going for walks. Go for longer walks. you know? There is no, you have to go to the gym. I think a lot of people walk around thinking they have to go to the gym, you know, and they get miserable. Like, you can see them in there sometimes. They're like miserable to be in there. They're not really feeling it. They don't really like it. They just don't like the dynamics of the gym, you know? And if you don't like the dynamics of the gym, you know, fuck that. I mean, New York City is so many brothers that do that, like, bartending shit, you know, hanging.
Right.
I call it monkey workouts, you know, they up there, chin up, this and that. But they love
hit
that.
the park. They hit the park.
Yeah, dudes who love that, man. They be like, yo, you don't have to have a gym membership. You could just do this. And they're right. You can just do that. For me, I don't like doing that. You know, I don't like that. I don't like that stuff. I like the gym. I like the dynamics of the gym. It's fun for me. So that's my hobby. You know, if your hobby is, yo, I'm gonna do push-ups, dips, and get to the park, and I'm gonna do this, that, and that, and, you know, one-handed, blah, blah, blah. Yo, enjoy your workout.
Right. I think that's true. I agree 100%. You know, for me, I haven't been as consistent with my working out as you have, you know, over the years. But, for me, it's always been exactly what you said. Like, even in my introduction to fitness, for me, it was like weight loss. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, I'm getting too big. I got to do something about this. But it's always been like, I need to do something that's intriguing to me. And then it becomes fun because for me, I love learning. So for me, it's like, oh, okay, what's this? Why nobody gets on this machine right here? Why are all of these empty? And that's how I kind of started on the elliptical. And I remember when I told you, he was like, oh, you fuck with the elliptical? That's so weird. Everyone hates the elliptical. And I was like, oh, is that why there's never anybody on these motherfuckers? Like, I remember walking in Planet Fitness and was like, I have no idea what to do here. I just know I'm getting way too heavy and I need to get my life together. And I was like, all right, treadmill, I guess. I've never really been that guy to go running. Let me see what else niggas got. It was like, oh, bicycle, it's kind of trash. Oh, but what's this other shit? This is weird. And I didn't even know what the fuck it was called at first. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to get on this weird machine. Oh, this feels like I'm about to fall. All right, let me see what happens if I don't fall. Let me keep moving. And then I would see people be on it for like 5 minutes and leave. And I'm like, all right, well, I know with fitness, you got to be doing shit for extended periods of time. So, I don't know, I'm going to just do half hour and see what happens. And it was fun for me. And I know last year when everything was shut down, that really fucked with me because I was like, damn, no elliptical? Because I had just started getting back into fitness. Like, I had been fucking up for a minute. And then I was on some, okay, I'm back in the gym regularly. Like, I remember me and one of my homegirls, every day we were sending each other pictures. Like, yeah, look, this was my stats today. Yeah, this is my stats today. Even when the virus first showed up in the United States, in New York City, it was like, well, we don't know what's going to happen yet. Is it safe to go to the gym? Is it not safe? We was both on some, yo, I'm going to the gym still. You going? And she was like, yeah, yo, I'm going to the gym. Fuck it. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to still go. My stats is looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm going to go. And we was there, like, I remember the last time she went, it was like the day before they closed all the gyms. Like, she was on some, listen, I don't give a fuck. And when the shit shut down, I had to find new fun things to do.
Yeah.
You know, I had to find things. And I think a lot of people were in that position where it's like, okay, what the fuck am I going to do now? Because I've got to be home. And in New York City, you know, we don't have the largest apartments, most of us. You know, a lot of us live in these tiny ass apartments. So it's like, well, what the fuck can I do in this tiny ass apartment that's going to give me a workout and be some kind of fun?
This expensive closet that I live in.
Right. You know what I'm saying? What am I doing this one room shack? Like, I don't know. And, I think a lot of people discovered that you don't need the gym, like you said, and that you can do these other things. You know, all of these stats and studies have come out about how there was this huge rise in fitness through all these alternative methods. And for me, that's kind of what happened. It was like, all right, well, everything is closed, so I guess I can't order out. All right, well, I was being a lazy motherfucker and ordering out. Let me get this real food in my system. I guess I'll be cooking every couple days, and I would just do that. And I discovered this boxing workout that somebody put me on to, and I was doing that and then jogging 3 days a week, which was weird for me because I remember when we spoke about it, me and you was like saying you got to get some cardio in. Why don't you like go jog or something? I was like, ew, you want me to jog? Oh, that's gross. Why would I do that? It's like, well, the gym is closed. What else you gonna do? It's like, all right, I guess I got to go jog. And then it became like great. It's like, ooh, I'm outside. I don't got to be home. There's all of this fresh air and these challenges just because I'm outside. Like, you don't know, is it going to be a hill? Is the ground higher? Is it lower? Like, all this shit. And for me, what was really dope was it felt like I Am Legend because I was the only motherfucker outside.
Right.
I was like, okay, I'm going to go jog. Like, I'm jogging through Times Square and it's fucking empty. Like, I remember one time I took a video, I gotta see if I still have it. I took a video of like me just jogging through empty ass Times Square. Like, there's no one outside, nothing. It's fucking empty. It's like 7 a.m. when I got off of work. And it was great. And I like fell in love with jogging. And, it's really, I think you're 100% right. Circling back to the point, I think you have to find what's your thing, what's fun for you. I thought doing the weights and the elliptical was the shit. And last year I discovered like, actually, this is just as fun. I realized what I really liked are the challenges that come with learning a new workout, learning a new thing, how to challenge your body, working on form, all of these things. Unfortunately, I had to stop. And I know even in physical therapy, when I was finishing up, they were like, all right, so now, we got you running these 3 miles. Now work on speed. I was like, work on speed? What the fuck? What does that even mean? They're like, yeah, still run 3 miles, but now do it faster. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. All right. They want me to be Usain Bolt in this motherfucker. All right. Fine. And then that's it. I was on the treadmill like, all right, get this Will Smith I Am Legend shit off. Like, so now that's what I try to work on. That's become the new challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, let's see what I can do 3 miles in today. Like, how fast can I go today? How much can I push my body today? And even when they had me doing like incline on the treadmill, I was like, this is retarded. Why am I running up hills and shit? And they was like, listen, that's how you're going to strengthen your body and the issues that are now there. And then that became easy. Like, I remember before physical therapy ended, I was like, I asked them, I said, hey, what y'all want me to do? Y'all want me to keep putting up the incline? They was like, if you're trying to run up mountains, then sure. But if not, then nah. And that's when they said, like, work on speed now. But I kind of liked it because it was challenging. Like, it was challenging my lungs. It was challenging my knees. And I was just running up hills. You know what I'm saying? So now if I'm like with my daughter playing around and we running up a hill, I'm good. I'm like, oh, just this little hill? Yeah, all right, cool. What's up? This is nothing.
Yeah. And that's, and that's it. I think that's just, your sort of personality where you're just like, okay, let me try something new, or I'm curious about this and that. And some people are like that, where others might just be like, I think the biggest problem with some people is that, hey, you don't like anything physical. It's like, well, what do you like to do? I like to watch movies. Like, okay, I like to watch movies too, but what do you physically like to do?
Right.
I don't know. I don't like sweating. It's like, well, I don't even know what to tell you.
Right.
If all you like to do is nothing, then you're going to have a problem with getting in shape, because basically all you like to do is just eat and sit around.
Right.
Like, that is going to be a problem.
Yeah, unless you're about to get your fasting in.
Right. Now, but even then, it's like, okay, if you don't eat your fasting, then that's fine. And you can fast and you can lose weight. But in terms of like muscle and moving around, you're going to get what they call atrophy, where your muscles get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then one day, you know, you're 75, 80, 60, whatever, and you can't walk or you need assistance to walk because you stop developing the muscles that keep your body going, you know? So yeah, it's, you gotta just find something physically that you like to do. And even if it's like simple walking, because you can start to say, okay, I just like to go for a walk. And I've seen people get in shape like this where all they do is go for a walk. And then before you know it, they start, well, I like walking, but what I do now is I speed walk. And so they're, you know, walking a little bit faster. And, you know, the speed walking eventually will turn into just a light jog. I don't really do much, just a light jog. And then light jogging, it's like, okay, that's cool. And then they don't get any more fun out of that. And then before you know it, they're actually jogging or running or, you know, some people start doing sprints or some people start doing really long, you know, runs. But yeah, you know, that's where you want to go. You want to be like challenging yourself, you know. I think if you're focused on what's the least thing I could do, you have like the wrong perspective in terms of things. You know, it should always be like, what's the least thing I can do to get started? But eventually I want to go higher than this, you know. Like I go to the gym. I like to do weightlifting and stuff. And so I'll start at whatever, you know, like my legs have gotten much better because I've really just been getting into like squats and leg presses and stuff. And so, you know, when I first came, it's like, oh man, like I'm pressing, you know, 200, I'm pressing 300, you know, then I got easy, you know, so it's like, well, now I'm doing 400, now I'm doing 450, now I'm doing 500. It's like, yo, like I would never ever seen myself squatting 450 pounds, 500 pounds. But now I do it. And it's like, sometimes I look at myself, that's why I always record. I'm like, is that me doing that shit? Like, wow, I had no,
you know what I mean?
If you'd have told me I'd be able to do this, I would have been like, nah, I can't do that. That's too much. I ain't messing up my life. But yeah, you don't start there. You know, you work that up until, you know, you get there. But that's the fun, for me, that's what's fun about weights rather than doing stuff outside, what we call body weight training. Body weight training is cool, but you're always just doing your body. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you're always lifting 200 pounds. It's never 210. It's never 195. It's always just 200 pounds. As long as you stay 200 pounds. In the
well, that's
gym,
why the
you
cats
get
who
to
really
select
live in
it.
the park. Sorry to cut you off. That's why the cats who really live in the park and do all that shit, they start getting like weight vests and ankle weights and shit
there
like that.
There you go. Yeah.
Because they know like this is my shit, but I've hit a plateau where I can't do any more. Like I'm lighter now, I'm stronger now. This shit is easy now. I have to do more. And I see that now they are doing the same thing with jogging. Like I've seen this wave, even on Shark Tank, there was this company that sells ankle weights but they look like a bracelet. And same thing, like they have hand weights that, you know, they're small like a bracelet. And, cats are wearing them running. Like they were asking them about their statistics and they were saying like, I think they're called bangle bracelets or something like that. And, they were saying like, yeah, you know, a lot of fitness cats who be outside, they want something to, you know, make it more challenging, but a lot of shit is ugly and super heavy and there's not a lot of options. So they were saying like, that's their whole wave, like different weights that cats can add and just be on the go with. And then I saw recently an update because I watch Shark Tank a lot that they did a transition because of all the home fitness that's going on now. That they have kind of like, they've come up with new inventions, new devices that are kind of like a dumbbell, you know, to replace a dumbbell, to replace, a kettlebell, things like that. Oh, that's really innovative. That's really cool. And, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think it's also about, I think one of the biggest things about fitness as well is self-awareness. You know, like you said, you can't start at 500. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, they come in and they try to do the dick measuring contest. You know what I'm saying? Walk in, like, oh, Andre, you squatting 450? Yo, that's nothing, man. I could do 475. Set up 475 right now. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's why you blew out your knee. That's why you hurt your lower back.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
I think that that's important. You know, like even when I started doing the little boxing workout I found out about that somebody put me on to, I couldn't do what he did. He's been doing boxing for years. You know what I'm saying? Like he was trying to show me level 5, for example. And I was like, yeah, I don't even know how to do half of the shit you're telling me to do. And he had to dumb it down. He's like, you know what? You're right. Start with this. And I started with that. And when I was working with him, you know, we had like a gym set up basically. We had a punching bag and some other equipment at the job in the basement. And, it was really in the boiler room and on some rocky shit. And, you know, I started progressing. So when everything shut down last year, I just went back to that. You know, I went back to basics and was like, I don't have enough room in my apartment to do all this wild shit. I can't be like slipping and moving and shit, but I can do this very basic stuff. So let me go back to level 1. And as soon as I started, my body was like, oh, you ain't done this shit in a year. You're not ready for this either. And it was like, damn, I actually need to do less time than I would like to do because I can't even handle the full amount of time, you know, and I had to be real. If I tried to do that same amount of time, especially because it's an interval workout, it's like, son, you're going to die. Like, you ain't going to be able to do this shit and get up and go to work now. Like, you got to start where you at.
Right. And so you're saying some key things. It's like, number 1, what I tell everybody is focus on you, not the person next to you, not the person behind you, in front of you, what that guy is doing, what this girl is doing. Focus on you. You are in, and that's what's so great about, for me, with weight training and cardio or fitness in general, is that the only person you're competing against is the person you was yesterday.
That's right.
That's the only person you're competing. You're competing it with you. You know?
Right.
You compare you to you. Not to anyone else. Oh, but he does this. Because everybody's different. Everybody has different genetics. Everybody has a different entry into a particular sport. You know, I've always loved individual sports. You know what I'm saying? Boxing, karate, swimming, whatever. Now, you might say, well, you know, how is those, you know, some of those things aren't individual, but you're really trying to just get better at it. Like, even with karate, do people fight each other? Sure they do. Boxing, do people fight each other? Sure they do. But the boxer is trying to become a better boxer based on his skills, the size of his arms, his length, his speed, you know, trying to become better within himself. And then when you become better with yourself, you just kind of measure yourself with whoever it is that you want to measure yourself with, or not. Some people, you know, they box, they never get into the ring. They just like the workout. Right. You know? I've been doing martial arts for a while. I can't remember the last time I actually sparred with somebody. Spar every now and then. Yeah, spar or got into a, you know, actual tournament. It's been years, but that's never been my reason. It's like, you know, now there are people who, they need that. They need to have this sort of like carrot. They need to be like, I'm getting into this, and at this particular point, I'm going to be Mr. Olympia, or I'm going to win
Mr. Universe.
You know what I'm saying? Mr. Universe, I'm going to win the fucking tournament. I'm going to be the heavyweight champion of the world. Like, if you need that kind of carrot in order to stay into the sport or into the hobby, whatever, because it's still a hobby, you know, fine. Now, it may start to become a job once you reach a certain threshold, but it's going to start out as a hobby. No one is going to pay you to start out with working out until you get to a point
right.
that you are super duper impressive. No one gives a shit that you get on your bike and you ride. Now you start getting on your bike and you ride, you get really, really good at it and you win the Tour de France or you start entering some shit like that. Oh yeah, you're going to get people to pay you. You're going to get people to sponsor you. But that's not how you start. You start for your love for the particular thing. You know?
Right.
So.
Yeah, I dig it.
But yeah, it's been cool. I'm also trying to find a picture that, you know, I know you said you wanted to get a picture. I'm trying to find which one would be a good pick.
Well, it's whatever you want. It don't even have to be some fitness shit. You know, like one of the joints that's really popular, they don't even have their faces up there. They have like they have two cartoon heads of themselves.
Right.
That's it. It's literally just that. Like I'll show you. You've seen it before because I sent you clips from them. I don't want to say their name, but
yeah,
they just have two cartoon heads and their logo. Yeah, so it could be whatever. I just want to have some options to play around with. I'm a big fan of options. You know what I'm saying? I believe life is about options.
Yeah, I know you like.
I think options are one of the things that make this country beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like in some countries there are no options. It's like, nigga, it's corn and just corn. Ain't nothing else available but corn. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, so we got. Same thing. It's like there are no other nationalities here. It's just us. You know what I'm saying? In this country, it's like picking flowers. You can just go, whatever you like, it's right there. Like, all right, you like burgers? There's burgers. You like steaks? There's steaks. Same thing. It's like, oh, all right, you like Asian women? There's Asian women. You like Asian dudes? There's Asian dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you like black chicks? Cool. You like black chicks from Africa? Cool. It's all right here, baby. What you want? Asian sensation?
Right, no doubt.
That's here too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
So all of that is here, and I think that's one of the great things about this country is that, you know, options are available. I think that's one of the things that you know, is a blessing here. You know, that we have options, and you know, even water. It's like, you want to take a hot shower or a cold shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it sounds really simple, but it's because we're so privileged in this country.
No,
and I think that that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, listen, some countries it's like, the hot water ran out at 8 this morning, so it's just cold baths the rest of the day.
I was once asked what was, you know, the best invention that I can like think of. What do you think the best invention was? You know, because we live in this time tech, we got iPhones and all these fucking technologies. I was like, yo, the best fucking to me is when they did indoor plumbing.
You know what I'm
indoor
saying?
plumbing changed the game.
You know what I mean? You ain't gotta squat outside no more.
Right. He did indoor plumbing. Like, yo, I'm just gonna go in and take a shower. That was some like luxury shit. And like now everyone can do it. Now, not in third world countries and shit, like you said, not all around the world. But in most countries, like, yo, you could just walk inside. Take showers and sit on the toilet.
Wash hands and sit on the toilet.
Right. Right. The water comes to you. You don't have to go out there and get it. That's like genius. Yeah. So, no doubt. So yeah, we gotta be happy for what we have.
Yeah.
Focus on other shit.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's why I said, you know, we're so privileged that sometimes I'm like, damn, you know, we got to just be thankful. So, you know, I appreciate that, and I really enjoy these options. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.